Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Bike Rides. Today we're going to check out Priority Bicycle's very cool belt-driven kids bikes. Belt-driven is probably the first thing you're catching on to, and belt drive is what makes these bikes super interesting. What makes belt drive so great in a kids bike conversation is if you've been a parent or are a parent, invariably you've dealt with rusty chains, greasy chains, bent derailleurs, crying, and bikes that generally might not be working very well. And with belt drive, so many of those challenges that we experience as parents taking care of our kids' bikes evaporate. The belt drive and the 3-speed internally geared hub from Shimano work great to give kids a really fun riding experience with not a lot of hassles and enough gearing for them to be able to get around in their neighborhoods and boost around with their buddies. So what's the deal with belt drive? Well, belt drive, as you can see here, is a belt. It's been around in the bike industry for many years. There have been a few other bike brands over the years that have used belt drives on kids' bikes. In this case, they've mated the belt drive to a 3-speed Shimano internally geared hub. That 3-speed Shimano hub has been around in Shimano's range of products for probably 30 years. It works great. Once it's set up, it basically doesn't need any maintenance. Everything is internalized inside the hub in terms of the gearing and maintenance, and so if the bike falls over, there's no derailleurs that get bent, and it requires no maintenance. That means for you as a parent, you can basically just keep the bike clean, put air in the tires, and check the brakes and make sure the bike is safe and your little one is riding. The 3-speed shifter is super easy to use. Basically, it's just a rotational style shifter with 3 positions, so there's not much to think about. To get to a harder gear, you turn it harder. To get to the easier gear, you turn it easy. It's really simple for kids, not super developed brains to really understand. There's no triggers, not sure which button to push, none of that. You basically just go click, 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 and the kids are riding. So a little bit about the frame. We're looking at these bikes. The frame is an aluminum frame set with an aluminum fork. That's going to offer a nice lightweight package to hang all the parts on, and so the lightweight really matters a ton when we're talking about kids bikes. Weight is actually one of the most important parts when it comes to kids bikes. You know, imagine how much fun you might not be having if you were riding around on a 100-pound bicycle. Not fun. So it's really important to have as light a weight package for kids as you can possibly get. So that starts with the frame. The next kind of heaviest component on the bike is going to be the tires and the rims. And so in this case, you've got aluminum rims, you've got stainless steel spokes and nipples, so you don't have rust happening. The brakes or the tires themselves are kind of a micro knob design, and so those are going to work great for most conditions, dirt and pavement included. You have V-brakes front and back with kid-shaped levers, so those are going to be really easy for kids to squeeze. They're also adjustable for reach for small hands, so no problems there. You have a chain guard on the bike as well to keep pants out of the chain, and then also things like kid-sized pedals, kid-sized saddle, and narrow bars and even skinnier grips. All of those add up to a kid's bike that's going to be really fun for kids to operate. There's even a kickstand included, which is great if kids use it, but because you now don't have a derailleur to worry about, it almost doesn't matter what side the kids might lay the bike down on the ground. So this bike that we're looking at right here, this is the Priority Start 20. The Start 20 is their mid-size bike. They also do a single-speeded 16-inch wheel version. The 20-inch wheel is pretty common for it to be a kid's first bike with gearing. And so in this case, if you're trying to figure out how to size, what size your child needs to be able to ride this bike, it's really easy to do that measurement at home using the book test. And so basically you get your child to stand against a wall, you, using the spine of a book, raise the book up into their crotch kind of as high as you can go, and mark the top of the book on the wall, measure that distance to the floor, and for a 20-inch, Priority Start 20-inch bike, We'd be looking at a minimum measurement of 54 centimeters, and that's basically a child's standover. For the Priority 24, we'd be looking for a minimum inseam measurement of 64 centimeters. So one thing we sometimes hear from parents is nice quality kids bikes are expensive. And so yes, the initial purchase price can seem expensive. For a good quality kids bike, the resale on that kids bike is usually really high. And so in some cases, we've had customers who've bought nice kids bikes from us in the past, used them for a year or two, and been able to sell them for maybe $100 less than what they bought the bike for. And when you do the math on that and add in that fun factor that you're hoping you're going to be able to offer your children, an expensive-ish kids bike at first isn't necessarily that expensive if you can get that resale dollars back. So keep that in mind, because ultimately this is all about you hoping to make your children have fun and enjoy cycling as much as you do. So that's the Priority kids bikes in a nutshell. If you are interested in checking out these bikes, please come down to our bike shop. We are open on the weekends for you to come and take a look for test rides. There's a few different colors available. We do our best to keep most of the colors in stock, but if not, we are happy to order them in as the season progresses. And hope you have a great summer of cycling, and we'll see you soon.